The time has finally come. After 6 months of building, we can now connect all of the different segments into our Arkaham Asylum. Long section. There we are. The final piece is now assembled. We will add in the tumbler, a Harley cannon, and our modified Batwing. Voila! As I'm sure you can imagine, I'm just so excited to finally call this project complete. It has been 6 months since I started collecting the figs to build up my Arkaham Asylum, and today we're going to be doing a fully in-depth view on the entirety of this monstrosity. So we're going to be starting at the top here. I'd originally planned to keep going, but simply with how long the build has taken, I think that this is a good place to go ahead and end the build. I'm really excited with the amount of gargoyles I've been able to acquire to adorn this asylum. Kind of had to get creative with this fencing here, as I'm really trying to not make any bricklinkers right now, just trying to really create using the pieces that I have. Over here on the right hand corner, we have a nice giant pipe system for the inmates to escape. We have another possibility of escape through this drain pipe up here. We have some foliage growing off over here to the right. And this is kind of just a scope as to the size of this. The side rock work was very hurried and rushed. It's not nearly as detailed as some of the stuff I did throughout this front here, but I'm really just trying to get it finished off. And so some of it is just kind of thrown together. As we came to the end of this build, I just wanting to get it done, get it over with. And I have so many other projects that I've been postponing, forcing myself to finish this. And so I just kind of kicked it into gear today and went ahead and finished off the remaining rock work. I just had to remove the branch that was here, which is why the studs are showing. Just didn't fit in with the rest of the aesthetics. I didn't tile everything off like I normally would. On a lot of my builds, I kind of wanted to leave the studded effect in most of the outer portions to kind of pose figures or just have it feel like Lego, and I didn't have nearly enough tiles to put on, so I just didn't bother on the outside. The inside is mostly tiled off, but the outside is not. And with that, we'll go ahead and start a breakdown. There's nothing in the top floor here. Unfortunately, I just kind of created this outside aesthetic. So, unfortunately, with this build, I never did end up adding the crane system to drop in Joker into the vats of acid, but I was able to utilize some lighting techniques that I was able to try out. Not quite as many as I was hoping to get in, but as you can see here with my halfway lit, it's able to illuminate this lower section in which Killer Croc has escaped. Up here we have Dr. Hugo Strange's laboratory, and I'll turn the lights back on so you can see this portion better. And here we have Hugo Strange's laboratory in its completion. And I'm really excited with how this turned out. I really love all the detail I was able to add. The different canisters of laughing gas, the different tools and assessments, the crank up chair, the Hugo Strange acquiring the Harleen Quinzel as his nurse, the different details I was able to get in the boiler room, the rat and the different tubing and piping that I was able to acquire. I was really pleased with how that turned out, even the different pillars that are holding up some of the different frames. Just all around, really excited. Finally able to use those tubes that I bought for my steampunk airship. Hopefully one day they'll actually go in a steampunk airship, but I'm just so excited to see them finally put to use and inside of a build. And here we have my version of the Batwing. I really tried not to make any more Bricklink purchases as previously mentioned, and so sticking with only the pieces that I had, I made some slight modifications as well as adding the Bat Shuttle stickers to the side. Really pleased with the look of that. I know it's not the Bat Shuttle, but I had the stickers on hand for some weird reason, and I didn't have any Batwing stickers on hand, and so this isn't 100% the Batwing, so I like the name Bat Shuttle just a little bit more. Anyways, and so I modified this pretty heavily, so calling it the same is not entirely accurate to begin with. So there's that. And next we'll go ahead and talk about the statues that I tried to create to just bring Arkham a little more alive. We have our two gargoyle statues down here towards the base, and we have our giant armored men up at the top. I tried replicating the bare-chested men that some of the different reference art that I used showed, but I figured this was just more in the lines of where I was going with this. I went ahead and used a mock-up of the last, so not the most recent, but the one before's tumbler, and I've gone ahead and added a spotlight to shine on. I've got all my lights on right now, so you can't see that nearly as well, but the light kind of shines in the different areas, showcasing them looking for criminals and whatnot. Really pleased with how this fencing turned out, just using pieces that I had in my collection and not having to make any Bricklink orders for that. And if we take off the roof element here, we get into the cafeteria, and I'm just really pleased with all the different characters that I was able to portray running around causing a muck in here. And if you're wanting to see the build in its entirety, go ahead and check out some of my previous updates. I've made an update as often as I could for every time I updated a section, and so you can check out all the builds that led up to this grand finale today. underneath the cafeteria is the prison rooms, and I've made them all modular so you can just pull them off. Pulling them off, you see that the inside of each cell is a cot and a toilet and a sink, and some of them even have little references inside, just different stickers that Lego's made referencing the different villains when the option was available. And even though I no longer have it oriented this way when the final build is done, I still feel like this gives you the best look into the cell chambers, and it's just one of my favorite views. I know the big green pillars on each side kind of distract from the entirety of the mock, but just really pleased. Over on the left, we have a special containment cell for the larger inmates. And over on the right, we have the ventilation system where the giant drainage pipe comes out on the other side that you previously saw. Again, a lot of this stuff is not accurate when you take it apart and look at it, but just kind of different things that I wanted to incorporate into the build. But that about wraps up Arkham, guys. Thank you so much for supporting me in this series, for watching it, for the likes, for the comments, for all of the support that you guys have given me. And next we're going to get into some money shots before we wrap up the video. Anyways, guys, that completes my mock updates for my Arkham Asylum 2025 mock built by JJ here on Create Co. I am super honored that you guys stuck around and watched to the end. If you guys enjoyed this video, please give it a like, a comment. Please know that I am not sticking solely in the DC theme, nor Arkham, nor Batman. I have a lot of new and exciting builds that I'm planning on over the next several months. It really, really helps when you guys like the video, share it to anybody who loves Lego, and consider subscribing for the best builds that you guys have ever seen coming up in the future. JJ signing out. Until next time, guys.